Chapter 7.
I prefer to view the grim as prey,
Professor Port jovially shouted in a ham-powered voice to his class. He proceeded to demonstrate how to assert dominance over the grim, as he forced his life-endangering destructive sparkling penis
that had been passed down the port line for generations
into the back door of a particularly large Beowulf. It howled in burning agony and rage, its body breaking apart as it slowly died from rectal bleeding.
Blah, 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 blobbity fucking blah.
Professor Port trumpeted to his class as virtually none of them paid even a semblance of attention to his speech as he wrestled with some Ursa or some boring-ass shit like every other godforsaken class at Professor Port's Snoozeville studies. Professor Port's pelvis pistoned at maximum overdrive as RWBY drew a highly detailed sketch of a grotesquely obese version of him taking a dump into Blake's mouth while ranting on about nothing of consequence. Satisfied with her work, she titled it Professor Poop, signed her artwork, and stowed it away for a later submission to DeviantArt. RWBY became mesmerized by the swaying of Port's mustache, an example of facial hair worthy of kings and emperors, able to slay dragons on contact and brew milkshakes, the concentration of whiskers into one gorgeous gray mask, covering his upper lip and mouth, had been cultivated since the beginning of the Port family tree, extending farther and taller than the serpent of Midgard, passed down from father to son. She began to fondle herself and began the process of gaining the necessary credentials to enter hell after death, giving into the first sin, governed by one of the 7 princes of hell, Asmodeus. Beowulf began to overheat, and its upper body exploded outwards with a devastating force as Port ejaculated, the recoil stronger than any hunter, forcing Port to ground his sturdy, stout, sexy legs onto the floor of the classroom to prevent himself from being propelled around the world by his dick. His feet digging 2 deep trenches into the ground, his boots having disintegrated under the friction, a couple of gallons of Port's semen, mixed with a few fragments of the fortunate blessed Beowulf, landed on Weiss's hair. She did not notice, busy fucking around with her nails or something and not paying attention like everyone else. And nobody else noticed because Weiss was the same color as Port's angel-created seed and skull fragments. As a torrent of holy reproductive fluids continued to erupt out of Port's cock, RWBY came violently for the first time in her life after shoving a pen into her cunt hole. Her 100% arousal fluids shut out, glazing everything in front of her in an 85-degree cone and pinning a triple-kill Illuminati pentagram on the wall of the classroom with her moist. Beacon Academy shook and tremored as Glinda Goodwich's rotting, fermenty body parts assembled in the center of the pentagram, forming a sufficiently trashy body for Asmodeus to possess, whilst in the mortal plane. As the pentagram glowed a horrifying translucent color, the virgin magic of RWBY Snatch amplified the demonic energies. The archaic runes allowed the pentagram to become self-sustaining, creating a excessive gravitational pull that sucked all of Port's semen and cleaned Weiss's hair as material to glue the giblets of Glinda's whore watermelon and cola-infested body together.
Greetings, radical children. I am a hip teenager, much like all of you. Let us have a co-ed party involving alcoholic beverages and copious amounts of underage fornication. Do not tell the police.
Asmodeus intoned using Glinda's toothless mouth and mangled vocal cords. Nora stood up, being the first person in recorded history to pay attention to Port's class as she saw Glinda alive, though not well, again. It had cost her 5 billion trillion million thousand lien to get Glinda's damn head and the rest of her body parts after picking them out of the collective mass of the students' fecal matter through the shitty mail and into Osmond's office. And now suddenly, they were all back together again. Nora was so fucking pissed that she strolled right up to Sport and tore his mustache off. His body began to break apart as his life force leaked out of the hole in his upper lip in a desperate bid to stay alive. Port attempted to shove his cock into Asmodeus' makeshift body and reabsorb the life from his previously fired semen. But Nora picked Ruby up and fingered her so hard that she turned into a super soaker and fired a large amount of slick out, causing Port to lose traction with the floor. He proceeded to break his back, causing him to impale his heart with his own fully erect lady-killing Grimm, literally killing shaft. Whether Port died from loss of blood or the loss of some essential life force that his mustache had kept safe would never be known. Yet, he died happy, because finally, after decades of shitting around in class, somebody had finally paid attention to him, even if it was his killer. None of it mattered anymore. Nora had killed him, acknowledging his existence. He no longer needed a mustache or unholy sex powers to overcompensate. Somebody had cared enough to kill him, and he died in bliss. Meanwhile, Asmodeus had not even reached his final form, and was currently a mass of tentacles penetrating every orifice of everybody in the room, aside from Nora and Ren. The aura of lust that emanated from Asmodeus caused Blake, who had been hiding her inner horror behind the quiet bookworm personality, to go slightly insane. She grabbed Gamble's shroud and attempted to whip Yang, but accidentally shot a bumblebee, which died in the middle of the triple Illuminati pentagram, tainting the virgin properties of RWBY's orgasmic liquids, banishing Asmodeus back to hell. Unfortunately, the students disregarded Asmodeus' instructions, and they had, in fact, contacted the police, who would be arriving momentarily in order to dispose of the evidence. Nora grabbed Peter Port's shriveled corpse and glued his body parts and dumped them straight into John's overfilled wastebasket full of damp, sticky, whiter than usual tissues. To be continued.